Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball shot. Greetings, football lovers, sports fans. Why the live show thing reach it? Welcome to BCN Sports halftime show. In fact, let me make sure that the image looks good. My name is Benton. Wow, wide screen, Junior. The screen is so wide. Let me move over a little bit to the left.
Yeah, because I was going to adjust you on my end.
Yeah, let me move over a little bit. Make
But
sure
you're good
it's, I am in the frame. We figure it out throughout the night. I think I'm in a better place right now because somehow we are hide from camera. All right, let's go. All right, BCN Sports halftime show. Junior, he's Junior. I am Benton, along with the family. Junior, how you doing, family?
I'm good, I'm good. Coming off a very eventful first day yesterday. Should I call it first day or should I call it World Cup qualification day? I don't know what to call it. But eventful night last night, and I survived.
And it seems like Junior's screen went blank in the live. What may I watch her?
No, I'm ready, man. Go on.
And well, now you're back. You're back.
No,
People, we're gonna have to
I'm
be
here.
with
I'm
us
not back. I'm here.
You're there. You didn't go anywhere. All right. So halftime show, family. It's a recap show. It's normally a call-in show, but no call-in tonight. We're gonna have Marcus Collins join us at 9 p.m. Will we have call-in tonight, Junior?
We can. We play it by ear.
We'll play it by ear. All right. So halftime show. Call in may or may not.
If you want call in. Backside.
Call in. We have Marcus Collins will join us at 9 p.m. to do the NFL Roundup and set up the upcoming week in the National Football League. We're gonna discuss some cricket. Lovely cricket. I know a lot of the original Ball Chat family and original BCN Sports fans are not cricket fans, but bear with us. We have to tap into the cricket audience, and there's an audience for cricket out there. So we'll discuss some cricket. We'll discuss West Indies versus India and the recently concluded Test series against India. And boy, I have a lot of things to say. So West Indies versus India, we'll discuss that. Junior also has a lot to say. We'll also recap CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. World Cup qualifiers over in Africa and on the African continent. But we're going to discuss the Reggae Boys a little bit more in depth after last night's victory over Bermuda and take a look at Group A. And what's going on with Panama, Guatemala, and the Suriname in that group. Also take a look at what's going on in Group C as Haiti tried to figure themselves out, trying to get back to the World Cup. First time in almost 100 years. I think Haiti was there, in 1930, 34, thereabout, or almost approaching 100 years. So we have that lineup, and of course, club football returns this weekend. So we'll discuss APL action. And any other major news in the world of football. We'll get ready for this upcoming weekend in club football. All right, let's start off with cricket, lovely cricket. Marcus Collins will join us in about 24 minutes from now. Junior, let me set my camera a little bit there because I'll make sure it's a bit. All right, so West Indies suffered a 2-0 defeat against India in the Test match series. The first test, they got, they were humiliated in the first test. Some would say fought back in the second test, but nonetheless, they ended up 2-0. I can pull up the actual scores of the respective games for cricket fans here. Junior, the things that stood out to me in this test series, a 2-game test series. The first test, You have a look. Yo, India made 448 in the first test, subsequently and resoundingly bowled out West Indies for 162 and then 146. So there was a mauling. India won the first test by 140 runs. In the second test, India won that game by 7 wickets. India made 518 declared. West Indies made 248. Then India put them in tried to enforce the follow on, put West Indies back into bat, and then West Indies ended up making 390, and India knocked off the target of 124. Target was 121 to win. 2-0 victory, Junior, for India in this test series against the West Indies. This is what, test match 5 of Coach Darren Sammy's new reign in charge of all format. We're not going to discuss or touch the Nepal series that the West Indies lost in the T20 format in Sharjah. Junior, your thoughts on this test series down in India? And it's fresh off the defeat, so your thoughts on it?
So, question: do you want the perspective of a frustrated West Indies fan, or do you want the perspective of a realistic cricket lover? Because I think both are two different people.
Give us both. Give us both. By the way, big up to all the people online joining us. Smash the like button. Make sure to tell a friend about the show. Subscribe to this thing. Junior, talk to me. Any perspective you want, because I have a few things to say and a bit of nugget to add in. In fact, let me go ahead and toss this in before you go ahead, formulate and give us your opinion. At the conclusion of the final test match, Darren Sammy, the coach of the West Indies, invited the coach of India, Gautam Gambhir, into the West Indies dressing room, who then subsequently gave a 4-minute speech to the West Indies team, basically encouraging them, telling them that, to paraphrase, that cricket needs the West Indies. Basically also tell them that don't think of the individual targets. John Campbell, big up yourself, made a century in the 390 along with Sheer Hope. Both made centuries. The coach of India, the Indian manager, invited by the West Indies coach into the locker room to kind of encourage the West Indies team. Junior, there you go. That's that additional nugget.
No, but then it goes back to my question of a frustrated West Indies fan or a realistic cricket lover.
Realistic cricket lover.
Because for a realistic cricket lover, all right, put it this way: as a West Indian fan that is born after the year 2000, you should be encouraged by your coach asking for the coach of the better team to come in and give your team a pep talk after being humiliated the way you did. That is coming from a realistic cricket fan, because West Indies is not at that level. They don't belong on the same cricket field as India, and it showed for those two tests. So it's good, and I commend the West Indies coach for I look as the real.
Tread carefully. I know these are your views,
As the
tread
realistic,
carefully now, because I will throw a shandebuckle.
As the realistic, I tell you, as a realistic cricket fan,
I will throw a shandebuckle through the screen. Because you talk about, I commend the West Indies coach. Got the blood. The show just started already. Continue. But you commend the West Indies coach. As
the realistic cricket fan, I haven't talked as a frustrated. I'll let you be the frustrated. West
What
Indies.
realistic cricket fan is going to invite? In fact, you scolded me last night during the World Cup qualifier game between Curacao and Trinidad, where the teams were friendly, the players were picking each other up, and there was this camaraderie after the game. What realistic cricket fan is going to invite the man who just kicking at your body, aka defeated you 2-0, to give a pep talk to your team? To encourage your team. What is your role?
What is my role?
No, the coach. You're inviting the other team to come in.
So,
the other manager to come in. Are you gonna give them a piece of your check then?
So Darren's, I think. I remember, I born after 2000, and I'm a young cricket fan. I am not a West Indies fan right now. I'm a young cricket fan. Darren Sammy looks like he used to play, so I'm guessing he used to play. And unless he played for South Africa, chances are he's a West Indies old boy, right? I don't think I'm going to see Darren. Well, England had one and two really dark players, so maybe Sammy could have played for England, but Sammy looked like a former cricketer. I would going to commend him for welcoming the opponent coach to come in, because unlike the World Cup qualifiers, World Cup qualifications is every 4 years, and I am now in a game where I'm going to play India again next year. And we all know the story. Even though I am born after 2000, YouTube, it does exist. We know the story of the old West Indies under Clive Lloyd taking West Indies to the tour of Australia, I believe. And Australia mopped the floor up with them. And they came back and learned from it and became a different team from that, right? Now remember, I don't know about West Indies history. I don't know what this board does. I'm going to assume here that moving forward, everybody makes sensible decisions, right? So the West Indies Cricket Board, look, we carry a team, they get them penny pop at India. Actually, they get them penny burn at India because they get a penny pop at Nepal, right? Some rice man beat them up, and they go to India and make some chicken tandoori man kick you up.
Those are the views of Junior.
Those are the views of everybody that knows
not
food.
BCN Sports. Talking about rice man and chicken tandoori. Not in this era where we have. And
Happy
also,
Diwali, by the way, in India.
Speaking.
This is Diwali season, so big up to all the biryani lovers. Okay, you don't know, goat biryani is #1 for me right now. But so with all that being said,
and Junior, speaking of this is the season, we forgot to mention that during the World Cup qualifiers, we will discuss the landscape of things being said by the current president and relocating games. Go ahead.
okay.
You brought it up by mentioning chicken tandoori and rice man. That is something akin to the current leader of the free world.
Wrong.
To call people out of them name.
Wrong. But look, as a realistic cricket fan, West Indies is no good. And anybody that sit down and watch the India series are worse after what happened in Nepal. Nepal? Yeah, Nepal.
And in Sharjah, UAE, but it was against Nepal after the T20, yes.
Wherever. They could have played on the moon where there's no gravity. West Indies still not making 50 runs. That's how bad West Indies is. So for me to sit down now and act surprised because India just kick you up, why would I act surprised over that? But leave that alone. So hats off again, and I'm really not trying to be funny. Hats off to Sammy for what he did. For basically saying, look, you're just better than we, and we just need to learn. Go ahead, Benton. You can have your fun now.
Malcolm Marshall must be rolling in his grave. I would like a thought or penny, or I would love to hear the thought of one Mr. Curtly Ambrose. These are the greats. The man who laid the bedrock, Sir Garfield Sobers, the greatest all-rounder to ever play cricket. I would love to hear the thoughts of these men who took less resources, because one of the big comment now, one of the huge comment you hear from Cricket West Indies leadership, including the CEO, Chris Deering, a Jamaican. Big up yourself, Chris. Big up Dr. Charlotte Ford and Director of Cricket, Miles Boscombe. One of the huge, I don't want to use the word excuse, but my vocabulary is struggling to find a better word. One of the huge blame or things that they assign or associate with the failure and the mediocrity of West Indies cricket is lack of resources. But these men that I mentioned, the Malcolm Marshalls of the world, Sir Garfield Sobers of the world, Michael Holden, they use less. Bernard Julian, rest in power, Bernard Julian. They use Alvin Kalicharan. They had less resources and they were not only winners, but they were competitive and the best in the world. So the man can't come tell me about no resources. I don't buy that. It doesn't require resources to have energy. It doesn't require resources to show some level of urgency when you're feeling. That does not require resources. One of the biggest insults that I've heard in the last few months around West Indies cricket after the defeat in Sharjah to the UAE, to Nepal in the UAE, after Nepal, an associate member defeated the West Indies. The West Indies manager, I think is Raymond Griffith, said that he was so impressed with Nepal's feeling that that's an outstanding feeling team. You should be ashamed of yourself. It doesn't cost money to become a good feeler. You and I both played cricket. I used to feel a slips. You feel a gully. We feel at different places. It takes energy and commitment to feel properly. But when you watch the West Indies team play, that commitment is not there sometimes. So when Darren Samia invite the coach of India to come and give a pep talk to his team after the beating, you think that's going to improve anything? If you keep on doing the same foolishness, no pep talk now going to elevate West Indies cricket. First and foremost is accountability, starting from head, top to bottom. Hear me now. If we have so little resources, same thing with the JFF, but the JFF is in a better spot right now. If Cricket West Indies have so little resources financially, why do we have so many executives? Why do we need so many administrators who are not working for free? We need to trim off the excess fat and put this money into cricket. So, you lose the series 2-0. You make a call, all right, India and this brother Gambier, who stepped into your locker room to give a pep talk to your team, made a blunder. West Indies batted for 80 plus overs in the first inning. And this idiot, sorry, but the Indian fans can come at me. This idiot, Gambier, excellent batsman, the question is decision making as a coach, decided to enforce the follow on. Your team has been bowling for 80 plus hours in the sun and you are enforced follow on. Of course, on a dead pitch, of course West Indies is going to bat better. Of course, you're going to bat better. At least give your team an opportunity to run out and make all of 50 or 80 overs or bat for 40 overs and accelerate and pile on. Give your bowlers a break. But you didn't do that. And because of that, we cannot ignore that. I credit Shea Hope. I credit John Campbell. I credit Justin Graves for making scores. Justin Graves made 50. But we have to look at the context how that score was made. All right? So we can't ignore that. Where was Justin Graves, Shea Hope, and John Campbell in the first test match when we get to we sell butter brews? We saw John Campbell do stupidness, aka foolishness, here in the Caribbean against Australia, finding the most silliest way to get out. And by the way, with that comment, I don't think John Campbell will be coming on BCN Sports anytime. But we have called it what it is. We have to call it what it is. We know cricket is a hard sport. And we love and want the players them excel. But at the same time, we have to hold them accountable. We cannot ignore the fact that Darren Sammy drastically changed the test team from the team that won a test match in Australia, tied that series, and won a test match in Pakistan, tied that series. Yes, they weren't world beaters, They weren't making monumental runs, but they went to two difficult environments, two difficult conditions, and won test matches. Plural, because they won in Australia and they won in Pakistan. You make this wholesale change to your team and you are not, to the test team, you are not being held accountable. You're bringing in the coach of the other team, you're doing this and speaking eloquently about this, that, and dog, dead and calls, cow fat. All these excuses, the coach, the president has said, it's because you are a St. Lucian why you're getting criticized. But yet we are not saying that Darren Sammy drastically changed a test team. A young test team that Miguel Coley was Miguel Coley coach. So how? And then on top of that, you brought in T20 players to play test cricket and they get run over by Australia in the Caribbean. You take the same T20 players to India to play test cricket and now you still surprised them can't bat long. And then on top of that, you have a Tevin Emlak is the best wicketkeeper in the Caribbean. Guyana captain. Best wicketkeeper. And you decided that, oh, you're going to play the T20 man, Shea Hope, as the wicketkeeper. In test cricket, you need... One thing that is, I heard Australian journalist said on the Mason Guest show. In Australia, the selectors select the best players, the best batsmen to play their role. It doesn't matter what position them bat. They select the best people to play the role. If you're telling me that Tevin Emlak is the best wicketkeeper in the Caribbean, then why is he not the player in the test match? The same Tevin Emlak that went down to Pakistan under very tricky conditions behind the stump and still excellent. And finally, he did play Imlak in the second test. But at the same time, this should not be difficult. He should have been playing from the Australia first test against Australia. But Darren Sammy thinks that he can flip a switch and turn West Indies into T20 players into test cricket. And then Minifi say we are realistic fans when this foolishness happens, when we get blown out the park. Man, get the hell out of here with this foolishness, man. Get out of here. So that's my run for cricket. I'm sure we have lost maybe some listeners and subscribers, but at the end of the day, and then Rust and Chase. Don't let me even get to Rust and Chase. Rust and Chase, the captain of the West Indies, talking about this is now something positive we can build on. Huh?
So speaking as a cricket fan, a realistic cricket fan, we saw Nepal and we scratch our heads and we're like, is West Indies this bad or is Nepal that getting that better, right? And then we saw what happened with India. I was like, oh yeah, West Indies is that bad. Bangladesh, see, the tour of Bangladesh starts in 3 days. That is the litmus test for me. And that, even as a realistic cricket fan, that has watched cricket over the last 2 weeks, I am going to question Sammy if we don't see some growth in the Bangladesh series, especially in the 1 day. Because your point is very well taken, and I agree 100%. You can't take a T20 batsman and ask him for bat a whole day. You can't take somebody that is conditioned and has played their last couple of games, conditioned in a tournament to try to make as much runs as possible in as least amount of deliveries as possible, and then look at them and say, by the way, go out there and bat for the whole day. It just doesn't work like that. So that in itself is idiotic. However, is it we're playing the long game? Come on. F the realistic cricket fan. Common sense tell me that Sammy's an idiot. Common sense tell me that There's a lot more going in the background of West Indies cricket than we know. And they are going on the guise of chemistry. We're putting chemistry over talent. That is what they're trying to force down our throats without basically saying it. I am banking on a player like playing with another player and they will perform better. That's the only way you can explain your argument about the wicketkeeper. You cannot explain it any other way. If you have to have hope in the team, make it go feel and slip. But sure can catch a slip. He don't need gloves to catch. So go on and slip to catch. If you need his bat, because forget about wicketkeeper. He is a very good bat. You need
he's
that
probably
bat.
the best batsman in the Caribbean. But why burden him with wicket keeping? Especially he hasn't played test cricket in years. I think it was 4 years now not played test cricket. So now you brought him back to play test cricket and then say, oh, you're a wicket keeper. When he's not, you know how many catches you see him drop a wicket keep?
Yeah.
Man, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with the West Indies cricket. But I'm big up BM. I'm no BM not like cricket, but BM, this is bigger than cricket. This requires some form of anthropology. We need an anthropologist to come in and identify where did we go wrong in West Indies cricket, because somewhere along the line.
And then Darren Sammy had the audacity the other day to say, oh, West Indies didn't reap the financial reward of its heydays, of its dominant period.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, all right, Darren Sammy means well. He speaks well. He loves West Indies cricket just like the rest of us. All right, he loves West Indies cricket just like you and I. He grew up playing the game, played at the highest level. But brother, shut up. Stop chat pluckery. And I'm gonna stop. I'm not saying nothing. I am done. I'm done on the West. West Indies play Bangladesh Saturday, the 18th in the Bengali National Stadium, Serie A Bengali. Then the follow-up is on Tuesday, the 21st, and they round out the series on the 23rd.
Are you doing a watch-along, sir?
No, sir. I'm not stay up. I'll do recap. Midnight. I am not into it. I will not stay up to try to watch the West Indies. I will watch the games or the highlights at best. But, I usually stay up. There's a demand or a push by those in the West Indies leadership for more funding. Chris Deering has been on Mason and Guest and multiple programs advocating for more investments, and I understand. We need money. But, brother, and I think I heard someone in Barbados say this here, who are going to invest in them? Junior, you own Junior chicken and patty shop. And you go and put your chicken and patty shop name beside West Indies cricket with this level of mediocrity? Are you going to invest in West Indies cricket at this level?
When I'm ready to invest in a burger giant, I'll do that.
So those things have to kind of fix. They have to kind of sort themselves out. But I will say West Indies cricket may not survive the next 15 years at this rate.
Oh no, come on, God, relax. Let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy. I think.
Why should West Indies cricket survive?
And apologies because I'm fighting a cold, so anytime I turn off to the side and cough, but can't help it. But it's a cycle. It goes up and down, and eventually we will come good. Now, I agree. Sammy is not good for West Indies cricket. He just isn't. Sammy's problem, and I subscribe to this logic. Sammy is from an era when West Indies was in the dumpster. I don't think Sammy has ever experienced, other than the World Cup victories or the T20 victory, which to me is microwave cricket. I don't consider that cricket. Sammy has not experienced real success as a cricketer for West Indies. He knows not what successful West Indies teams look like. So to ask him to come out there now and say, I need you to lead us out of the doldrums when you are from the doldrums, how the hell we expect him for the better? You need somebody that knows what success look like and what success feels like to tell. He has never experienced.
Well, the president of the cricket board, Cricket West Indies, says that Sammy, and factually, won same a number of World Cups as Sir Clive Lloyd. He's won 220 as captain, 220, two T20 World Cup titles, and I mean Clive Lloyd is what won the 75 World Cup and what the 77 or 79 World Cup. Of course, we lost the 83 to India. So in terms of lore, the Cricket West Indies president says Darren Sammy's been criticized because he's St. Lucian and he's won 2 world titles just like Sir Clive Lloyd.
What was Clive Lloyd doing when he won those titles? What was Clive Lloyd's role?
I mean, he was.
What was his role? It's a simple question. What was his role?
He was a batsman in the team.
He was the captain.
Yeah.
What is Sammy's role right now?
Well, Sammy was the captain in those 2 teams that won.
What is Sammy's role right now?
He's the coach.
So I don't give a F about comparing the captain of a legendary West Indies team to the current coach of a West Indies team. Now, if that idiot, and unfortunately this is going to be cut and put on the internet, but I don't care. If that
please
idiot,
don't. I mean,
I'm going to say it. If that idiot is trying to convince people that Sammy is comparable to Clive Lloyd, at least have a disclaimer to some of your comments and say the comments I'm about to make are intended for audiences under the age of 25. Nobody over 25 is going to take you serious. So speak to your demographic. He's clearly a Gen Z or Gen whatever them want name. He's not a baby boomer. He's not a Gen X. He's a Chat GPT generation,
he's
brother.
the same age as us.
Benton, that the age that don't count, because that's the most idiotic statement I've ever heard in my life. In my life, how the hell are you going to compare Clive Lloyd? You shouldn't even bring up Clive Lloyd's name. You should just say, look, Darren Sammy is not given a fair shake because he's given a very tough task. He inherited a tough task as captain. He now even have a tougher task as coach of West Indies because West Indies is starting from the doldrums and we're trying to figure it out, and we all need to get behind him because he is the face of this remake, and until we go in a different direction, we need to support him. That's a lot different than coming with the, well, nobody likes him because he's St. Lucian. Brother, move and go. Just say what me just said. That's just simple PR. We need to get behind him. We support him. We stand with him. If we go a different direction, when dog nyam him supper. But until then, I'm going to support him. And you should too, because you are a West Indies fan. And we're going to support the West Indies coach through thick or thin. That's what we're going to do.
And I do. And as a fan who stays up and watch and buy the merchandise, I was at the Cricket World Cup last year. I rally around the West Indies. Because West Indies, like me, I'm a big up countryman. West Indies is not just about a cricket team. For those of you from India, you support the team because of your country. From Australia, you support the team because of your country. West Indies is about Caribbean unity. It's about legacy. It was about black excellence. It's about black excellence. And it's about sticking it to colonial masters, especially back in the days when the West Indies cricket team was predominantly European English men. So when we support West Indies cricket, when I support West Indies cricket, it's about heritage and legacy. No, I don't want some of them money to come muddy up the heritage and the legacy. And with that being said, I rally, aka I will support the West Indies team as long as I can. I will still travel to the games. I will still buy merchandise. I will still pay for the channel. By the way, how much is the channel this month? I will
Which
still
channel?
pay for
Willow?
the channel subs from Willow TV, and I will still support the West Indies. When the West Indies players come to the US to play, some of them do play here in Atlanta and different parts of the states. If I'm in the jurisdiction, I will support them because of West Indies USA. Now, all that being said, Darren Sammy, win a test match. Win a rated test match. And that make other coaches talk to your team. Marcus Collins supposed to be joining us. What go on? It's 9:08. Where's Marcus? No NFL roundup tonight?
Well, let's move on. If BM says I stopped watching cricket when Lara retired. West Indies cricket is too depressing. Well said.
Well, this is why BM we should watch together. We can carry each other through this thing. We'll do watch alongs and we'll laugh about the misery. Junior and I laugh about it all the time.
What else can we do?
Let's see if Marcus will join us. All right, we're moving on to football. The other version of football. Enough about West Indies will play Bangladesh on the 18th, which is what? Saturday night?
Yeah.
Saturday 18th?
Yeah.
Yeah, West Indies will play Bangladesh. We'll now do a watch along. We'll do a roundup at the conclusion of that series.
Man, catch him cover to clot.
You know. All right. Now to actual football, world football.
BM says the decline of West Indies. Let me tell you what BM just said. BM just said the decline of West Indies cricket started in the late 1990s. Thankfully, Lara was one of the best players in the world. At one point, he was the main attraction for many fans. That is worth a discussion. Before we go to World Cup. Before we go to...
Lara was the main attraction at one time for West Indies. And
He
cricket
was?
in general.
He was?
Yeah, man. I agree with that sentiment. I think Lara was the main attraction for West Indies and cricket fans in general. I mean, Lara as a batsman. No, Sachin Tendulkar is, excellent as a batsman. But both of them, pound for pound, maybe the greatest of all, Dan Bradman, blah, 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 the Australian, or Englishman, where we come from. But I think, like, when I listen to other folks who are non-West Indian speak about Brian Lara, the level of admiration is quite, yeah, it's there. It's huge. It's huge.
I agree. What Lara had was charm that no other West Indies player had at the time. So Lara was one of the last holdovers from the charming West Indian batsmen, while Walsh and Ambrose were the last holdovers from the ferocity of what makes a West Indian player a West Indian player. Ambrose had the aggressive nature, while Walsh had the relentless nature. Because Walsh and Ambrose were two different personalities within themselves. Ambrose would want to fight you, Walsh would just beat you down. Right? It's two different approaches to the way they bowled. But I would argue, in my argument, that both Lara and Walsh and Ambrose as a combination were the major attractions for West Indies, for cricket. I put Ambrose and Walsh as a combination and on the same level as Lara. Now Lara transcended when he went on that 375 when he surpassed the record, right? And I think that year after that in county cricket, I think he made 500 if memory serves me correctly, and I think he also had in county cricket as well, where he had like 5 6s and a 4 in 1 over or something like that. I don't think he got the 6 6s, but he had that run where Ambrose and Walsh never really had that run of dominance like Lara did. But you brought up a name like Sachin Tendulkar. At the time, you had people saying Tendulkar was a better batsman than Lara. The difference was, though, that Tendulkar never have the longevity at the crease like Lara did. But Tendulkar was always, you had some people that had the preference. And this is coming from somebody that mimicked Lara. I tried to bat like Lara. So I was a diehard Lara fan. But I will never put Lara above Walsh and Ambrose together. Never. Never.
So, I mean, Sachin Tendulkar played more games than Lara.
He
200
did, but
test matches for Tendulkar, 463 ODIs, Lara 131 test matches, and approximately 300 ODIs, or 299 ODIs. So Tendulkar, I mean, and then Tendulkar did not play upon some dead pitch. I mean, hey, look, let me
dead
not say
pitch.
that. Let me not say that.
You crazy? When look.
Listen, hold that phone. All right. When did Tendulkar retire from cricket?
I think Tendulkar went before Lara. I think Tendulkar retired before Lara. I could be wrong. It's a 50% chance I'm right.
He played. He retired in 2013.
Yeah, November 16, 2013. I think so. He played longer than Lara then.
Yes, he played longer than Lara. And that being said, I distinctly remember India playing Sri Lanka in the early 2000s. I remember 2008, 2009, 2005, thereabout. In some really boring cricket matches and some dead pitches. And people putting monumental totals on the board.
You're crazy. Look,
Okay.
just quit while you're here.
All right. I'll leave that. Because Sri Lanka had Kumar Sangakkara and Mahela Jayawardene.
Benton,
and India had
quit.
Tendulkar and Imbridge in them.
Quit, Benton, quit.
No,
Quit while
no,
you're here.
and I'm not saying all of that to discredit Sachin's work. Sachin, yeah, was class, and Brian Lara was class. I'm not picking one over the other. Both were excellent batsmen. Excellent. I mean, the ability to not only last that long in Test cricket, but the ability to score and scores so high in Test cricket. I mean, these men average is ridiculous. Ridiculous average. I mean, Brian Lara highest total in Test matches 400. The 400 he made. And Brian Lara could play a spin from now till next year. He would tickle you fine. He's not overly powerful, but he was able to find the gap and placement in the field. And with Sachin, small in stature.
Stop, Benton. Quit while you're here, Benton.
What?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Don't
What do you mean?
it. Don't do it.
Oh man, what? You picking Sachin over Lara? Is
They're
that what you're
comparable.
trying to do?
So
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
So BM said something here when BM said that Barack Obama said Lara is the Michael Jordan of cricket, and he completely agree. I completely disagree. I I 1,000,000% disagree.
Obama don't know nothing about cricket.
I don't know about cricket. If you were to say, who would you think is the Michael Jordan of cricket? Is that Lara?
I mean, he's in the conversation.
He's definite. No, Lara is in the Mount Rushmore. If you ask anybody in the world, give me your top five. Give me your top five batsman ever. Lara should be in everybody's top five.
Well, maybe it is Brian Lara, because the fact that Barack Obama, former U.S. president, and cricket is not a popular sport in America, but the fact that Barack Obama and some Americans know about Brian Charles Lara, maybe he is. When if you ask a man from China or ask a man from Russia if they know Brian Lara. Because that is what the Michael Jordan of cricket would have done. It's definitely not Clive Lyde and Viv Richards. We have these players, the Clive Lydes, Viv Richards, my brethren in India, Ravi Sastry, Kapil Dev, all these players in high regards in cricket. But they were excellent cricketers. But did they take cricket to the next level globally to uncharted markets or untapped markets? Probably not. But clearly it sounds like Brian Lara may have tapped into the American market, i.e. the president of the U.S., former president of the U.S., have him in high regard. So I don't know, maybe he's right. But I've never thought about it. Who is the Michael Jordan of cricket?
That's a tough argument. It's a tough argument.
And with limited evidence, I probably have to lean to Brian Lara. Like Viv Richards is like a king. But Viv Richards is a king in cricket space, in countries where cricket is prevalent. Like Viv Richards, by the way, you know, I have a former colleague of Indian descent who said, yo, all the way, she's a lady, of course, all the way growing, when we were in university, would try to flock to Viv Richards' room. I tried to get access to him when they toured India. Now, Viv Richards ended up having a child in India with, I think it's Meena Gupta. And that is how Viv Richards was highly regarded in India. They love him like how West Indians love him. But that is within the cricket space itself. Nobody don't know about Viv Richards America, who don't follow cricket.
Isaac Newton. Everybody who know who Isaac Newton is, and Newton created calculus before he was what, 26?
Who him?
Isaac Newton. What do you mean by who him? You don't know who Isaac Newton is? The great physicist?
Let me Google him then.
But Newton said this years. I have seen further. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants. And I think Lara has been seen by more people outside of cricket because he stood on the shoulders of giants. And that's how I see Lara. Lara did not see half our Gary Sobers saw. Lara did not see how Lara never see. You talk about Viv Richards. Lara never see what Viv. Lara never got through what Viv went through. Can you imagine? You know, do you know how? Well, you know, it's so difficult to be the captain of West Indies and take over from Clive Lyde with his era and say, give me that button. And I am not going to drop this button. I'm going to give it to somebody else. And the mere fact that the person that we want to talk about, that is Michael Jordan of cricket, dropped the button, that alone make him lose that credibility. I'm sorry. And I am a Lara diehard fan. But he dropped the button, Mental. He did.
But But I will take a different approach on that. I think you can still I think Lara can be criticized for things that fell under his watch in terms of performance wise. But from the Michael Jordan perspective, I think Lara is the globalization or the expansion of the sport. And I think that I can give Lara credit for. And so that is where when if kind of circling back to the quote or the statement that BM said about former President Barack Obama. Boy, tonight we are talking about presidents. Soup. Um, yeah, with that being said, the fact that a former US president recognized Brian Lara, I think that means that he has brought the sport to a different market. And maybe have helped the expansion of the game here in the US. Because right now every cow corner, everywhere you go in America and there's a little clear dirt, it's a man that play cricket. And there's some cricket league that go on. Now granted, a lot of these people are from the subcontinent, but with the Caribbean mixing, it's a nice blend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I will give that statement in terms of the fact that he has brought the game, I took the game to different audience. I will probably say, yeah, but not for winning trophies. That's definitely not why we are giving the Michael Jordan thing.
Yep.
You know, So, but outstanding. And again, anything I've said earlier, I want to emphasize. I made this abundantly clear that I am not trying to disrespect Brian Lara's achievements,
Me
nor
either.
Sachin Tendulkar's achievements. Those both men were, yeah, I can't, were stupendous in what they did. So
Yep.
they have been the standard bearer in the battings. And yo, I heard the Cricket West Indies saying they're getting a batting consultant or something. Why you can't lean on Shanda Paul father, Brian Lara, Clive Lloyd, Viv Richards, these men to develop batting curriculum, batting instructions for not just your coaches, but for players coming through the ranks. I think from a long-term perspective across the Caribbean, there needs to be a standardized batting curriculum. And Brian Lara needs to be heavily involved in that development because he's one of, if not the best Caribbean player we have seen to play spin.
But not everybody who can play it can teach it.
Can teach it. Just make him talk about it and then Junior can do the translation to teach it. You know? So West Indies will play in Bangladesh on Saturday. As Darren Sammy will try to get the bad taste out of the India tour.
And the
But
Nepal tour. Two tastes I try to get out one time.
huh?
And the Nepal tour. So it's two tastes him trying to get rid of one time.
Yeah, but I think since he wasn't on the Nepal tour, I'm not gonna say that enough. Even though he's the coach of all formats. All right, but we get to some football discussion. Because not NFL. Marcus look like him missing up tonight. Hopefully, all right, family. Let's get to World Cup qualifiers. Do we want to start with Confederation of African Football and or then pivot to CONCACAF? Which one do you want to do first?
Yeah, you can start with Africa.
Huh?
Africa, go Africa first.
All right, you know what? Let's start with the president of the United States, Junior, saying that FIFA games he's going to push FIFA to relocate and move games to cities that are more aligned, are more adhering to the, of course, the president of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, has been very vocal about certain things. We don't know. Them man are vocal. Them man don't hide and talk. Them say what is on their mind. And he has made comments about moving or encouraging are having a discussion with Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, about moving games to cities that he would deem, i.e., the president, Mr. Trump, would deem worthy of games. Vice President of FIFA and CONCACAF President Victor Montagliani did said that you can't just move games. This has been years been planning, and he also had some more choice words in his reply, but I don't want go into Victor Montagliani reply in detail. Junior, if you're planning trips to the World Cup next year and you're planning to attend games whether in Boston, whether it's somewhere in California, maybe San Francisco, maybe in LA area. With that comment being made by the president, do you continue to plan or you wait to see where things? Because we have seen the cities from FIFA. Do you take this threat seriously or you just kind of plan accordingly? As a visitor who potentially could be traveling for the World Cup in the US.
Well, you have to wait. You have to wait to book wherever you're going to book, unless Hilton will honor your stay over Dessa when. Look, yeah, that's a loaded question, and for me, I was never planning to go to any World Cup. I don't care if I get a free ticket. I'm not going to the game. I'm staying away from those events personally because of the politicized atmosphere. If we think Qatar was bad, this World Cup will be 3 million times worse. Thankfully, within the 90 minutes, nobody is going to care. But outside of those 90 minutes, when you have to travel to or from, there's going to be too much in the air. There'll be too much going on. We joke about me being an English fan, right? We joke about it. If I was to pick a European team, more likely I would pick England, but it's not because I'm an English fan. It's just common sense for me. But this to me is a recipe for disaster. This rhetoric that the president is spitting out, and the president can have his own mind frame when he's saying something, or he can sell that to people and say, you think I am saying X when I really meant Y, right? And that's you very well within the bounds of your own logical reasoning, however your mind put thoughts together, right? I'm going to give everybody in the world that credit. Whether you are 50, 45, 70, or even a 1 year old. I put all of them in the same bracket. I'm going to give you, even if you're artistic, even if you're non-verbal artistic, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that there's some cognizance in your thoughts. So with that being said, our great president of the United States, because we don't want Balchat get shut down and I don't want to be deported to Guatemala, even though I would take Curacao, but that's a fine writing. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that there is something logical behind that statement. However, people receive the way he talks differently. When I hear him talk, all I'm hearing is, and this is unfortunately, and this is for my own ears. I'm not talking for everybody's ears. When I hear him say that, all I'm hearing is these places that want to host a World Cup game, them too non-white, they're too un-American, and I wanted to go somewhere that only my people can benefit from. And unfortunately, I don't think I am one of his people. So I must take that as a threat. Unfortunately, it's a threat to me and my well-being. So to answer your question, hell fuck no, I ain't going to none of them places. You mad? You're crazy. I ain't going to none of them World Cup games.
You know what? Under normal circumstances, I would probably say, FIFA has picked cities, and there's a process involved for cities getting selected to host games. Under normal circumstances, under normal conditions, I would say Victor Montagliani, the vice president of FIFA's comments will carry weight in terms of reluctance or the inability to relocate games or move games. But I do recognize we're not living under normal circumstances. There are so many times I've said, and we have said, and others may have said, well, that is not going to happen. But it has happened. And with that being said, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen if there are cities that the president don't want to have or host games because you are a host country. How much muscle are you willing to flex to demonstrate to that group that's coming into your country to have this event that, yo, I am in charge and this is my territory and you abide by my rules. And so with that being said, I don't know. I don't know. If you're planning tickets to go to Boston or you want to go wherever to watch games, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. I said, and I want to reiterate, under normal circumstances, I would see here things like that, and I said, yeah, that not gonna happen. But I've recognized that the climate and the landscape that we are living in, we have said that and we have made those comments multiple times. That not gonna happen, and it does happen. And so, as it pertains to many other things. So, if the man say, yo, Johns Creek now get no game, and we're just using Johns Creek as an example, and he's hell bent on Johns Creek not getting any game, because Johns Creek Mayor, Junior, are going like him too tough and bad and disrespect him. Johns Creek not getting any game. So, watch the space, and we'll see how this one plays out. We have not, at least as far as I know, I haven't heard anything from Gianni Infantino, who's the president of FIFA. I do recognize that Gianni Infantino and the president do have, I don't know if it's a friendship, but they have maybe a working relationship because they seem to be in each other's space a lot. We saw Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, at the, I think it was at the inauguration or at one of those major events when the president was celebrating his victory. We saw Gianni Infantino at the White House a few times since the subsequent unveiling of things to come for the World Cup. And this is very important for Gianni Infantino. I don't know how many of us can think about these things, but I think BM is an accountant, but I know the accountant and Junior, you're a maths man. You all think about these things. From a FIFA perspective, the tax on that revenue that is generated by the World Cup host and being ability to get that revenue out, it's important that FIFA maintains a very good relationship because they want to keep that tax low as to non-existent as possible. Now, and I think he was waiting for an approval from the previous administration, i.e. Gianni Infantino, to get clearance that he was going to get the lowest tax threshold as possible so that FIFA can pull out their earnings. The previous administration, i.e. the Biden administration, didn't give him that document, or didn't give them that approval that they requested. The current administration, I think, has provided that. So this is a relationship from a FIFA perspective, from a tax perspective, because they want to know if they host this tournament and they make All right, for example, $5 million. And when it's time to pull that $5 million out of the US, they want to make sure from a tax perspective they're not getting pinched heavily. And I think Infantino wants to maintain that relationship with the Don.
Yeah, I mean, yo, I don't care. I'll just say I don't care. And FIFA has been known to color outside. Hell, FIFA has been known to color so far out the lines that the actual thing that they are trying to color don't get no color at all, but the whole page colored red. So, look, I don't. I just care about the 90 minutes and the 30 minutes of stoppage time were applied and the free and the penalty kicks. That's all I care about. I'd like BM says he said don't listen to Trump. Just think of your drunk uncle who just rambles about random
Let's keep BM identity.
it is what it is. He also said, Junior, Qatar was actually one of the best World Cups ever. Yeah, but didn't reporter get badly beaten? We will forget that. Um, he also said, I'm thinking about taking time off to go to some games, but I might just watch them on TV. I don't like the energy around this tournament. He also said, remember when the US bidders were upset about losing the 2022 World Cup to Qatar? Now we see why the US has no business hosting the World Cup. I mean, politics aside, FIFA do have a power play in them hand, you know, because um, I hope Trump does realize that Mexico has enough stadiums. I hope Trump does realize that Canada has enough stadiums. So you can buy, you might want to move games all you want. All right, cool. Just you can move it, you know. You can say this stadium is not available, right? And the way our politics work in America, we know who runs these we are aware who runs these stadiums, right? We are aware the stadiums are not federal buildings. We do are aware of that, right? We do are aware that more times than not, for most stadiums, the state government made a deal with the owner to get the funding for that area, for that location, to build up the stadium. And these stadiums were built. So like the NFL stadiums, for argument's sake, right? Which most of these games are going to be played at. We know the NFL encourage the owners of their teams to remodel their stadiums. And what's one of the caveats, or what are the things that the NFL does to and to encourage the owners to build stadiums is guaranteeing them a Super Bowl. So you are now going to look at Atlanta, for argument's sake. Well, Atlanta, Georgia, that's a Republican state. They might leave it alone. In Boston, you go and look at whoever is the owner of that stadium and say, is it because I don't like the area that you in? The guaranteed $10 million you are about to get as the owner, may I take it out of your pocket? I want to look at that state government and say, because I don't like you, the guaranteed influx of money that was guaranteed to come in, I'm going to take that and give it to somebody else. It's a slippery slope, and I think I've spoken too much about politics and football. I don't care about it, but it's a slippery slope, and I think Mr. President himself is going to. There are different. Let me choose my words wisely so the sniffers don't come out and say we already just coming out of prison. Um, there's a slippery slope, so he has to be careful. And there are certain rhetorics out there that is bigger than 20% of the United States. The people in the United States that run around and wear that red hat proudly, and it's only about 20 to 30% of the United States population. The world is bigger than that 30%, and he's going to learn. Be done.
Junior, when you speak, please make sure you speak into the microphone, just like you. I need to look into the camera. You know, we have to make sure our audio is crystal
You not hear
clear.
me?
Well, we are hearing you, but sometimes you're staticky. So we want to make sure that the static is not interfering because we want
All
um
right, now, over sound better?
that sound works.
Damn it. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check.
Works. About the same. About the same.
We'll find what the problem is, though. How about now?
Yeah, it is. You see, this is what happened when you try to venture down the slippery slope.
Is it better?
Um, yeah, your microphone is a slippery slope. But we have to watch the space. And again, I think we want to just put a bow or a wrap on this conversation. Like, again, I want to emphasize that nothing has been said by FIFA officially regarding relocating of games. Um, that's all that's been said. We leave it at that until the official host says something, then we can deal with it. All right.
Check, check, check.
Yeah, Junior, you're still static. Confederation of African Football World Cup qualifiers. Uh, yo, this is it. Junior, you may have to call in on but Junior is doing some technical work here.
Hold on, sound now.
Teams that go ahead, Junior. 9 teams from Confederation of African Football book their places to the FIFA 2026 World Cup. Group A winner Egypt secured their spot to the World Cup by winning Group A. Group B, Senegal secured their spot. They won Group B. DR and Democratic Republic of Congo finished second. They've advanced to the playoff. South Africa won Group C. They won Group C over Nigeria. Nigeria finished second. And then Nigeria advanced to the playoff round. We'll discuss the playoff round now. Cape Verde won Group D. Cape Verde, a population of what? 350,000. I think is the population of Cape Verde. I think, is it now 500,000? So Iceland is a population of 350,000, smallest popular nation to make the World Cup population wise. Cape Verde with the 500,000 people, second smallest. Curacao, of course, with 150,000 is knocking on the door, so they might, trying to break that record. So Cape Verde made the World Cup for the first time. 500,000 is a population, very impressive. They won Group D over Cameroon. Group E, Morocco advanced automatically to the World Cup by winning Group E. Group F, Ivory Coast advanced by winning Group F. Gabon finished second, and so Gabon will be in the playoff round. Group G, Algeria makes their way to the World Cup, and Group H won by Tunisia. Ghana won Group I. So the 9 teams from Africa that automatically made it to the World Cup. The 9 teams are Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Algeria, Ghana, Cape Verde, South Africa, Senegal, Ivory Coast. All those teams will be at the 2020 World Cup. Cape Verde will be appearing for the first time. The teams that made it to the second round, the playoff round, Nigeria, Gabon, Cameroon, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Nigeria will play Gabon on the 13th in semi-final 1. Cameroon will play DR Congo also on the 13th in semi-final 2. Winner of each semi-final will play in the final. And the winner of the final would advance to the Intercontinental Playoff. So technically, Africa get 9.5 space. Junior, if your audio is set and you're ready, give us your thoughts on these 9 teams Um, and Cape Verde. Bubista's coach, Cape Verde.
First of all, check.
Yeah, your audio still not clean.
You can't hear it good little bit though. You still not hear me good?
Yeah, that is clear.
Alright.
Yo, you know what? I tell the people themselves going forward, every time we audio drop out, we're gonna put a donation to a charity.
Well, we just like get the new wire. We just need a new USB wire. But
Well, there goes the donation to the charity. All right, you know what? Every time we audio drop again, we're gonna start giving you a jersey. You just
I
talk to me about these teams that will be representing the continent of Africa, motherland.
um good that the World Cup get extended so we can see more African teams. That's it. Cause to me it's just more sacrificial lambs.
I will, Nigeria. So some of the storylines coming out, of course. Cape Verde winning the group over Cameroon. That was a bit of surprise for many. But
Not to me.
knowing what we saw from Cape Verde at the Afghan Cup of Nations, those of us who watch this thing closely, um, you know what? Well done, Cape Verde. But also, Angola did quite well at the AFCON and could not really kind of get into the World Cup. Also suffered in that Group D. In Group C, I am really impressed with South Africa. I am really impressed. And you and I had a discussion about this. South Africa domestic players, a lot of these players in the South African team, I think they're spread over three clubs. I think it's the Sundowns, Melon Sunrisers, I think is the name of the team. Orlando Pirates is the other team. And we saw them at the AFCON last year, and I think 5 or 6 players come from one team. And it's very impressive to me that your local league, that is, 2 or 3 teams, supplying the core, all the players pretty much in your squad. Nobody where you run, go far and go find players. And this team won this group over Benin, Nigeria, and others in that group. That is impressive to me from South Africa.
It is, but then there might be a rhetoric there that we don't know. If we were to talk to a South African resident that doesn't live in one of those 3 states with those 3 teams, they might say, "Well, I have a player that should have been this. I have a player that should have been that." Blah 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 blah. But with that being said, yeah, very impressive. That and this is something that we've been crying for. And I will speak in general terms. A lot of African football fans have been crying for that homegrown team from some country to go to the World Cup. Now it's time for South Africa to take the next step and do something in the World Cup. And maybe they can attract some players from overseas to come to that league and play. And that will just serve them even better.
And then and one storyline, and only BCN Sports here will highlight this storyline. South Africa also suffered a penalty in this qualification round. Their 2-0 victory over Lesotho was awarded to Lesotho as a 3-0 victory. Reason being, South Africa used an ineligible player, Mr. Thibaut Mokina, who represented Botswana at one time, but I guess they didn't get the paperwork in time for when he made the switch to South Africa. So I love it about South Africa. I do question what's going on with Nigeria. This is a situation or a scenario for me where it's akin to you sending out a lot of your players to play internationally, and they're playing some of the best leagues in the world. Yes, rightfully so. They're making a change. They're making money. But for the domestic leagues, when you can really easily tap into players who are local, you can foster very good camaraderie. You can foster, it's cheaper, that we ain't have to fly in a bunch of people. And I think Nigeria is probably suffering from some of that. You have a bunch of star ballers that played all over the globe in big leagues. But when you do bring them together, it takes time for that adjustment and for that continuity to form, for that cohesion to form. And whereas a South African team where the players are local, you just call them up anytime and like, yo, we are on a camp. And you play some ball games. And I think this is probably, I do feel a bit sorry for Benin though, because Benin, I know going to Nigeria, it was going to be a difficult thing. Benin needed something out of that game against Nigeria, tied on 17 points. Anything that Benin could have done, Junior, do not lose the game against Nigeria. Get a draw against Nigeria, you have at least a pathway to the playoff round or the automatic spot. And what did Benin do? You lose the game against Nigeria.
But with that being said, I don't care. You had the opportunity and dash it away. Simple.
Yeah.
And the World Cup, I said it last night, the World Cup is very unforgiving. You have your opportunity, you take it. If you don't take it, you lose it. And if you lose it, cry me a river.
A number of teams also got penalized for using ineligible players. Malawi, Equatorial Guinea versus Malawi used ineligible player Emilio Knows. The original results were, Guinea defeated Equatorial Guinea defeated Namibia 1-0 and a victory over Liberia with that player. So those results got flipped out. Of course, Equatorial Guinea ended up way down in the second to last place in that group. So, and this is part of the process. You're fielding players, and I think this is part of just poor management. It doesn't take much to make sure a player who switch have the right documentations in place when you decide to start them. So, as for the playoff round, Junior, quick thoughts on these two games: the Nigeria versus Gabon and the Cameroon versus Democratic Republic of Congo game.
Traditionally, everybody wants the Nigeria and Cameroon make it. At least make it to the next level. That's all I'm ever saying.
And the games will be played in Morocco, so it's at a neutral site.
It's a neutral site, yeah.
I like Congo. I like this DR
You like Congo?
Yes, I do like this DR Congo team. Wissa of Brentford. We're formerly of Brentford now at Newcastle. And we saw Congo last year at AFCON. Did some really special things, but unfortunately the group, I don't remember which group they were in, but they just ran into a juggernaut. I think Congo is knocking on the door with Cedric Bamako. I think this is their time. I mean, I do expect Congo to get into this World Cup. I mean, they will make the final. They will beat Cameroon. And if it's Nigeria, I really expect them.
But the BM make a good point. Well, we'll talk about Jamaica. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Congo. Because is Wissa back? Is he Johan Wissa? Is he back this weekend?
I don't know.
Because I know he was out injured for a while. I mean, since he made his move to Newcastle, he has not featured, right, because of an injury. So, not only from a Newcastle perspective, they need Wissa back, but from a Congo perspective, Democratic Republic of Congo, they need him back. I like this Congolese team, and I think from what's going on in Congo, they are Congo and the whole heap of foolishness we're going over there. So, I hope they can move it. You have Alex Tunzabi, Iran, Wan Bissaka. Of course, Wan Bissaka made his switch to Congo. So yeah, I hope they can make it. I hope they can make it.
Yeah.
All right, now to CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, family. The standings, as we take a look at the standings. Group A. Let's go through the standings real quick. Group A. Suriname is sitting atop Group A on 6 points. Suriname and Panama both on 6 points. Same goal difference of +1. Guatemala in third place with 5 points in Group A, and El Salvador on 3 points. Group A, talk to me about Group A. We saw last night Guatemala went to El Salvador, picked up a huge 1-0 victory down in Guatemala, down in El Salvador. Suriname went to Panama and almost took those 3 points. Panama scored in the 96th minute. I think it was Fajardo that scored. I don't know what's going on with Panama, but Suriname looks like a really legit contender for this first automatic spot.
And yes, and they are there, and big up BM. BM did call it early. So look at that roster when he talked about them. And they have the favorable schedule going towards the end, because they're going to play against, well, even though they are not, they won't have to face Panama again, who we all had penciled in as the favorite of the group coming in, right? So they have passed both Panama tests. They now have to play against Guatemala and El Salvador next, right? So the onus is on them to go out there and seal the job. They've done so well up until this point. It's on Suriname right now to go out there and complete the job. The thing though is, yeah.
So they host El Salvador November 13th, and November 18th they travel to Guatemala.
The problem is Panama, who haven't shown it so far, but they are still penciled in as a favorite. They are tied on points with Suriname, tied on goal difference. So Suriname now knows that for them to go through, they have to win both games, and they still have to look over their shoulder and see if Panama will drop points. So it's exciting times ahead. I think the sexy pick is Suriname, or the sentimental pick is Suriname. I think the sexy pick is Panama. I think the dark horse is El Salvador, though. Don't sleep on El Salvador. Don't sleep. I mean Guatemala. Sorry, Guatemala. El Salvador dead. Don't sleep on Guatemala. And Guatemala, their next game is against Panama. And I think their last 2 games they're hosting. They host Panama, they host Suriname, right? So they are arguably in their own driver's seat. Win both games and then make it. So don't sleep on Guatemala. I'm telling you now, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. And that last game against Suriname could be winner takes all. Don't sleep. That game might be must-see TV. It might be bigger than Jamaica Curacao. Might be.
Yeah, so Guatemala hosts both leaders for the final two matches, right? So
Yep.
November 13th they host Panama, and November 18th they host Suriname. This is a tough group. It's really a tough group, and I echo the sentiment that coming into the group, Panama, of course, many of us had Panama as the overwhelming favorites, but you still have to go out and play the game. At the end of the day, you still have to execute. One of the things that we have seen from Panama, it's an inability to score goals. They will create chances left, right, and center, but they cannot score goals. And if you cannot score goals in World Cup qualifiers, and then that goal that they conceded last night against Suriname, it's just baffling how you just high up the field like that, exposed. Thomas Christiansen, the coach of Panama, did look like a very, very concerned individual. And but he would take his 1 point and then try and live to fight another day. You are correct about the Guatemala thing. Um, this November 13 Guatemala versus Panama game may dictate what happens from here in, because if
Yeah.
somehow Guatemala beats Panama in Guatemala, and it's quite possible,
Yeah.
then Suriname now will say, okay,
First, they have to beat El Salvador.
yeah, Suriname has to beat El Salvador.
So
And
them
they're
have to,
playing El Salvador at home.
they have to beat El Salvador. They have to beat them convincingly too.
I don't even know about convincing. Just win the 3 points. Why you worry about convincing?
You start with 3 points, but you have to win convincingly.
There's nothing convincing about this group. I feel like a 1-0 victory.
That's true. That's true.
between these
That's true.
teams.
That's true.
Because a bunch of people are flat. So yeah, we may have to do a watch along for these games right there. So because that November 13 matchup, the Guatemala versus Panama game, and the Suriname versus El Salvador game. And the sad thing for Suriname is that they have not played for not Suriname. For El Salvador, they have not played badly in this group. They have played quite well. In fact, they went down to Panama and really did well against Panama. In fact, who did they beat? Let's see who they beat. Because they did beat.
Who, El Salvador?
El Salvador did beat Guatemala.
Yeah, they beat
So, yeah.
Guatemala in Guatemala.
In
Guatemala.
So the Guatemala returned the favor last night.
Yeah.
Because Guatemala defeated El Salvador in El Salvador. Well, this is a group of madness. And I remember that game in September. Like, All right, so to Group B. So Group A again, Suriname and Panama tied on 6 points. We watch the score regarding that group.
Before we go to Group B, I highlight a comment from BM. BM said, I said before, the World Cup qualification, 1 or 2 of the top 3 seeds won't make it. Based on how unpredictable the results have been, I still think that will be the case. He also said that Nofir Bala hasn't looked himself. However, he can't do it on his own. Panama has been underwhelming so far. He also thinks that the CONCACAF has the most exciting games in World Cup qualifiers. Yeah. Moving away from the hex has really changed the importance of these games. You kind of spread them out.
And I wait and see. This is the first time we move from the X. This round, it seems to be fun. And I want to remind you, next round for 2030, the big dogs in return.
Yeah.
Group B, and the big dogs, I mean USA, Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah.
Group B, Reggae Boys, 9 points. Curacao, 8 points. Trinidad and Tobago, 5 points. Matchup coming down the pipe. The Reggae Boys will play Trinidad and Tobago November 13th in Trinidad and Tobago, 7 p.m. Junior. Curacao will play Bermuda. Talk to me about this. At 5 p.m.
The unfortunate thing about this game is that both games don't start at the same time.
Well, that's good.
No, it's not good.
Why is it not good?
For the importance of the game, because if I am Curacao and Jamaica, actually no, it's okay. Because Curacao is supposed to beat Bermuda regardless. But that Trinidad-Jamaica game is going to be huge. Jamaica plays... I think they have the hardest schedule to end the round because they're not playing Bermuda. Now, Jamaica is taking care of business versus Bermuda. The onus is on Curacao and Trinidad to take care of business versus Bermuda, setting up a meaningful game with Jamaica, both teams having meaningful games with Jamaica. Trinidad has their meaningful game first. And I think that's going to be a tough game. I think that's going to be a tough game. I think arguably that Trinidad Jamaica game might be tougher than Jamaica Curacao. That's how I see it. And I think Bermuda, I'm going to say it again, I don't think Bermuda are going to finish with 0 points. So make us see which one of the team that they're going to knock off.
I don't want to dismiss the Soca Warriors, but I'm going to go ahead and start stick a fork in them. I'm going to go ahead and start sticking a fork in the Soca Warriors. Then they can accumulate a maximum of 11 points. That's their top. That's their upper limit. They will need favorable results for them to make it to the World Cup. So they don't control their own destiny.
Right.
All right? And I think that the fact that they went to Curacao and competed, but they couldn't get the 3 points, now leads me to believe that Trinidad pretty much is on life support, are pretty much dead, in my opinion.
Life support.
Because there is no way. You need both Jamaica and Curacao to drop the soap and drop the soap. The chances of that, the probability of that happening for Trinidad to squeeze in. It's a whole heap of luck, brother. It's a lot of fortunes you need to happen. A lot of things you need to happen to go your way. And I think Dwight York recognized that at his post-match press conference. Knowing that, okay, the last game is against Bermuda. Fine, you will get more than likely the 3 points. But even if you get 6 points, you still don't have an automatic spot. Now, granted, you can go to the playoff round.
Right. And I was talking more playoff. I don't. The automatic spot is dead. That's not an option for them. Playoffs is an option.
The playoffs is an option. And now, from that playoffs perspective, you need some things to go your way.
Yeah. BM says he disagrees with me. He haven't seen enough to suggest Bermuda will get anything for the 2 remaining games. This is just a step too far for them. All right, we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I think BM and BM. I think BM. I agree with BM on this one. Coach of Bermuda, Michael Finley, at the post-match press conference of the conclusion of the Reggae Boys game, said that this is the level they want to get at, i.e., where Jamaica is, and where these other teams are. So he recognized. I think by that admission, Michael Finley's recognized that his team is not necessarily on the same platform as this. Now, granted, a ball round, you still can slip, trap, and find a point.
Right.
But if any of these 3 remaining teams, the Trinidad, Curacao, or the Reggae Boys, make Bermuda, well, the Reggae Boys won't play them again. If Curacao or Trinidad make Bermuda take any point of them, they're not serious.
No, but you see, you're right, but both Curacao and Trinidad will not only be playing Bermuda, they will be also be playing the next game as well, in terms of keeping the eyes on the next game result. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. So I'm happy Jamaica got rid of that pressure yesterday and move on from that task and is now just left with serious games. It's a lot of pressure to going up against a team that you are expected to beat. Worse when them don't have nothing to play for. It's a lot of pressure. And you have to keep your eyes on the next game. It's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. I am going to bet Bermuda is going to finish with 1 point.
Yeah, you've been saying that. And I said, hell no. They're not finished with no point. Absolutely not. Not this watch. Not this World Cup qualifier. These teams have been surgical against Bermuda. They realize that this is their chance, whether it's Curacao. Now, granted, Curacao did make it a little bit more competitive than it is. No, I don't see Bermuda getting any point.
Well, like we said.
All right, as for the Reggae Boys, job done, Junior, in terms of picking up the 3 points. Coming out of the window, they had the big game in Curacao. That was circled as the most difficult of the away encounter. Well, potentially probably most difficult of the away encounters. Let's see what happened in Trinidad Your thoughts on the game and then looking ahead.
The Curacao game for me is a dead game. I mean, thankfully, they seemingly right the ship yesterday. If Jamaica had come out with a 1-0 win, 50% possession, Bermuda getting chat, we'll be having a different conversation right now. I am willing to chalk up the Curacao loss as a Steve McLaren error, right? And it is what it is. Now, history might be different if the next two games turn out differently. But currently, I think they have righted the ship from a Jamaican perspective. I want us to look forward now. Just moving forward, let's go to Trinidad. Let's approach the game positively and put our best foot forward and make the best team win. We just can't come out with a loss. That's how I see it. If I'll be satisfied with that draw in Trinidad, I would.
No, so just want to remind listeners, like the playoff round, it's the best two runners-up teams will advance the playoff round. So
Yes.
even if you finish second, don't mean that you're guaranteed to advance the round.
Right.
It's the best of the three. The two best of the three will advance to the playoff round
Right.
for the intercontinental chance.
So with Trinidad looking at a maximum of 11 points.
Yeah. You have Panama over there, so potentially, or somebody in Group A.
I mean, 11 points. If they get 11 points, that's good. That there should be one of the top two.
You have Costa Rica sitting on 6 points in Group C
Haiti
games
with 5
remaining.
points.
with 2 games remaining. Costa Rica will play. Well, them have Honduras and who else? And Nicaragua.
Soft soap.
Yep. No, Honduras and Haiti. Costa Rica has Honduras and Haiti. So,
And they travel to Haiti. Or which part of the game I play? They're not travel
that
to Haiti.
game might be in Miami.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure where the Haiti game I play. So, the second place thing, good luck. As for the Reggae Boys, good job. Job well done. Massive 3 points. I can't find anything to complain about. Because bottom line, I don't care about quality of football. That's not my major requirement when it comes to World Cup qualifiers. I do recognize that when it comes to national teams, this is not club football. You know, getting on you fancy football.
Right.
This is not old time Brazil. Ultimately win the game, and they took care of their business after what transpired the other day. No, as you pointed out, Junior, no, you get to maybe the toughest part of the window for the Reggae Boys, right?
Yep.
The two major competitors, the Trinidad and Tobago of the world and Curacao of the world. But simply put, you have to win one of these games, especially that last game at home.
Yep.
Now, what if the Reggae Boys draw both games? That would put them on 11 points.
You're looking at playoffs, possibly. You draw both games, you're not going through. You're not automatically qualified. Curacao will be gone. Curacao will be coming in the
That's still
Jamaica
providing
game.
that Curacao beat Bermuda.
But they should. We're going to assume that they will. Even though I still think Bermuda will get somebody napping, I am going to assume, for the sake of conversation, Bermuda will finish with 0 points. So both Trinidad and Curacao plays Jamaica. That's their meaningful game left. So Curacao should enter in the last game in Kingston needing, well, no. Yeah, they should, because I think Jamaica going to draw with Trinidad. Curacao going to enter the last game in Jamaica needing a draw to go to the World Cup.
So Trinidad, with all that being said, you think that Jamaica is going to go to Trinidad and come away with a point?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
I mean, a point in Trinidad would be huge.
that's the best case scenario in my opinion.
Well, the best case scenario is 3 points.
Yeah, but I don't think that's possible.
I mean, why not? You can't go down to go beat them, yes?
Yeah, you
If
can, but
you know, Reggae Boys will play Trinidad and Tobago on the 13th, and they wrap up against Curacao on the 18th. Run through some of my comments, but
BM says the playoff route isn't bad for Trinidad, especially given their slow start. Also, remember Trinidad qualified for the 2006 World Cup via the playoffs. History may repeat itself. And when it comes to Jamaica, we have to hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. Jamaica is very inconsistent, and we don't know which team will show up on the day. Haiti play their home games in Curacao. Never know that. And if we draw both games, most likely it's playoffs. I agree.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for Group B. Reggae Boys, 9 points. Very good goal difference, +8. I love the goal difference. Cannot say anything about Wagwan. I mean, this is what you want to have. +8. Curacao in second place with +3 goal difference on 8 points. Trinidad and Tobago +1 goal difference on 5 points. And Bermuda already eliminated on 0. Now to Group C, family. Honduras leads Group C with 8 points, +5 goal difference. Costa Rica with 6 points, +3 goal difference. And Haiti, 5 points on, with a 0 goal difference. And Nicaragua cannot qualify with that single point. So them can, but they cannot qualify directly, but they can still advance to the intercontinental playoff. So they are not eliminated, Nicaragua, as yet.
Right.
Group C, family, your thoughts. Honduras has surprised many with the way they have played. I mean, the coach of Honduras seems to have found the formula to unleash Romel Quito and family. I mean, Honduras has been in a bad spot of late, but this World Cup qualifier has really kind of resurrect the Los Catratos, as the fans have rolled out deep in the stadium the other night against Haiti.
Yeah.
And they put a stopping on Haiti, 3-0.
I mean, all 3 rounds have some parity, have been somewhat unpredictable, but I think this round probably has been the most straightforward of the 3. I mean, you said Honduras, in recent years, yes, Honduras had kind of taken a step back, but they've always been a dangerous team in CONCACAF, and they would show up on the big stage. So, and they are probably most consistent. I think Costa Rica, other than America, Mexico, I don't even put Canada in that frame. In terms of consistency over the last 20 to 30 years, Costa Rica and Honduras have played at some level of consistency. So I'm not that surprised. This group, though, Haiti has been disappointing. And looking at what's going on in the island, this would have been kind of a nice pick-me-up. But can't trust Haiti. If we can't trust Jamaica, I'm worse can't trust Haiti. So, I don't know. Who you have going through automatically?
I mean, so Costa Rica, has been kind of, Haiti went down to Costa Rica in that opening game, I think, and took a point, right?
Right.
And then that was a very entertaining game, 3-3. It was a very entertaining game. And they also took a point off Honduras at home. So, Haiti was in a good spot. Then they defeated Nicaragua and things kind of was lining up well. Costa Rica, very young team, or somewhat young team. You have some of these young players that from the U20 setup now making the transition. And the World Cup qualifying round is not very forgiving, when it comes to errors. And I think Costa Rica dropped the soap against Haiti because in the first game, because that game ended 3-3. That was in San Jose, Costa Rica. And somehow Haiti found a way to because Haiti led 2-0 at one point. No, so Costa Rica scored first. Haiti came from behind and led the game 3-2 in the 86th minute. And Costa Rica tied it up. And I thought this young Costa Rican team is a bit shaky.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's hard to pick against Honduras because what they've shown, I think Romelu Quito seems to have found himself again and he's back to scoring goals. Rivas, we don't know if Rivas is a baller, but I've always believed that with this edition of Honduras, Romelu Quito on the right side of this team, right wing, has been, and sometimes going in the middle, is a linchpin when they get going, Honduras is sitting in pretty. I mean, they will make this automatic spot. Now, because in their next game, they travel to Managua to play Nicaragua. That should be 3 points. And then they round out the round traveling to Costa Rica at San Jose. And if Haiti can go to Costa Rica and get a point, why can't Honduras?
Sure.
Central American rival, men versus fitness, so to speak, with this young Costa Rican team.
But if Costa Rica beat Haiti first, then it's going to be hard for me to see Costa Rica having 1 foot basically in the World Cup if they assuming they can win that last game. It's going to be hard.
I mean, I do expect them to beat Haiti, so they will go into the last game with 9 points, and I expect Honduras to go in the last game with 11 points.
Right, so Costa Rica win and make it to the World Cup.
Them not beat Honduras. Honduras only need a draw in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
To make it automatical to the World Cup.
Must see TV.
I don't see that happening.
All right, we'll see.
Don't see that happen. Don't see that happen. So as you just mentioned, by the way, Marcus just text me and say, yo, sorry, got Jaguar doing some things. He said next week.
Yeah, man, next week.
Yeah, man. So Haiti versus Costa Rica on November 13th. Honduras versus Nicaragua also on November 13th. And November 18th, Costa Rica versus Honduras. And Haiti rounds up against Nicaragua. Boy, what could have been for Haiti started out so well, eh?
Yeah.
Started out so well. All right, look, wrap up. It's been, been a few hours since we've been on, right?
Yeah.
Running up almost 2 hours. All right, club football returns this weekend, family. English Premier League. We could take a look at the English Premier League games coming down this weekend. Are we doing a preview show Friday, more formal preview show, or this is it? Not sure.
Not sure.
All right, Leeds versus West Ham Friday. Well, we can't do a preview show Friday because 3 p.m. game Friday between Leeds and West Ham. So we're not on a preview show. That would have to be Thursday. Leeds versus West Ham Friday at 3 p.m. Chelsea, Sunderland, 10 a.m. Saturday. I guess there's no 7:30 a.m. game this month. Newcastle versus Fulham, 10 a.m. Saturday. Man United versus Brighton. Wait,
No.
our schedule me look on.
Yeah, look on the wrong schedule.
Wrong schedule.
And big up Marco forward. Out the call as Manchester United dead to we.
Wrong schedule. Wrong schedule I'm looking at. I'm looking at October 25th. All right, so there's a Saturday game. Forest versus Chelsea. Junior at 7:30 a.m. Andre Postecoglou, manager for Forest, had a piss poor start to his reign. Is this must-win football game for him?
Hell no. And whoever believes that is a damn idiot. And Angie's a bigger
at the
idiot.
City ground.
Angie's a bigger idiot taking the job.
What is his record? What is Andre Postecoglou's record? It doesn't.
Zero.
None of that matters.
It doesn't
None
matter.
of that matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
So we're just hiring people and just have free reigns. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. So you go. Why was he hired?
To win football games.
No, but he was hired because the last coach was fired for not being able to win the games. So you bring in a coach and give the same team and expect him to beat Chelsea? I watch them beat Chelsea. The reason why is because Chelsea have all these players that went off on international duty. Nottingham Forest don't have that much. So this is actually this is his first real week of sitting down and actually putting in a game plan, actually putting in a system. Because you need the time to put in the system. So
Junior, he already had an international break.
He came in after it. No. I won't subscribe to that line of thinking. It is idiotic to expect a coach to come in and turn things around that quickly.
Junior, there is nothing to turn around. Nottingham Forest wasn't a bug side like any Manchester United team.
So why fire the last
Forest
coach?
Qualified for Europe, and there wasn't anything to turn around.
Well, so guess what? Ange is the wrong coach then. He should be fired tomorrow.
No, but do you agree that there was nothing to turn around? What?
If there's nothing to turn around, why fire the coach?
We all saw the bust up between Nuno and Marinakas, the owner, during that Premier League game. We've all heard Nuno say at post-match press conference that he has not spoken to the owner. It come like him malice him, and AKA they will have to figure out a way forward.
You know what? Let me burst your bubble. Hold on. Let me burst your bubble. I'm going to go in rear farm as the finishing up.
7 games played in charge of Forest since September 1st. 2 games with ties, two drawn games, and 5 defeats.
Benton.
We don't have a winning percentage record for.
So fire Ange not good enough.
At Forest because he has not won a single game.
Right. So Ange not good enough. So fire him now. If based on what you're saying, fire him now. Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Do you know who Rui Pedro Silva is?
Rui Pedro Silva. Name sound familiar.
Do you know Julio Figueroa?
Name sounds familiar.
You know Rui Barbosa?
Name sounds familiar.
Do you know Antonio Diaz?
Name sounds familiar.
You know why the names sound familiar? Because you heard their names called during the showing of a Nottingham Forest game. Those are the coaches on Nuno's coaching staff. If the team was going in the right direction, but the head coach and the owner couldn't agree, why you didn't elevate the assistant coach to continue the team in that same direction?
Are those assistant coaches with Nuno at West Ham now?
It doesn't matter. You didn't offer the assistant coach the job. That mean you did not agree with the direction that the team is in.
Fair enough. But when you became mayor of the city of Johns Creek and then elevated to the president of a new municipality, do you leave your team in Johns Creek or you take them with you to the new municipality?
I wasn't fired as the mayor at Johns Creek. And
well, it doesn't matter.
Actually.
Do you keep your Do you keep your team or you leave them at the other place?
I would hope my assistant mayor or deputy mayor would want the job.
Oh, cut the crap. This is why you have a staff. This is why you
But
have a
that's
staff.
what the
You have
but
a
the
team
staff.
around you. All right. Just because, all right, look at the people around Jose Mourinho. Look at uh, the bug coach or coach U.S. men's national team. It's the same brother, Mauricio Pochettino. It's the same staff. So most managers have their staff.
Yes.
Nuno
but
wasn't going to leave his staff to take over, no, especially them disrespect Nuno.
look, my argument is simple. If you didn't like the coach, but is okay with the direction of the team, you offer the job to the assistant coach. But when you dig up the whole coaching staff wholesale, when the season starts already, and put in a new coaching staff, we go and sit down and be, oh my God, I can't believe they haven't won a game yet. Seriously? Hold on. Isn't it Nottingham Forest, the team where Ange put them big midfielder out to pasture now?
I saw Morgan Gibbs White playing, Junior. He was not put out to pasture.
No. He's put out the pasture. Come on now.
I saw him playing. And maybe he needs to be put out to pasture because he's probably still going to say, what kind of idiot coach this?
So,
There again, Andre Postecoglou didn't need to turn around a team. So you need to fix up his speech. There wasn't anything for turn around. Can we agree on that?
no, we cannot agree on that.
What
No
was there
coach
to
is
turn
going to
around?
come in and not put him on him fingerprint on the team. Worse when the last coach was fired. No coach is going to come in and be status quo.
What
No.
was there to turn around?
No.
I wait your response.
What was there to turn around?
What is Andre Postecoglou turning around? In fact, he turned around a winning team to a bug team.
That's true, but I wouldn't know because I think the firing was dumb, and I think Ange was wrong for taking the job. I think in moments like these, the coaches fraternity need to band together and say, "Yo, we'll burn out that manager, that owner there." No coach worth his salt should have taken that Nottingham Forest job. Everybody knew Nuno was going to be fired from in the last season. How you start the next season with Nuno as coach? No, them should have band together and burn a fire upon the idiot coach. You know what, too? Yo, him rich, but me not care. We can't kick him down in body and run left him. That one there is an idiot. He's a big idiot, and they need to take the team from him. They do it to take the team from him.
Take team from him. You have money?
No, I said they. I never said we. I said they need to take the team from him. There are bigger problems I worry about than Nottingham Forest. I couldn't care less.
Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea at 7:30 a.m. As from a Chelsea perspective, Julia, we cannot say how impressive we are with the start of the season on the Enzo Maresca, and how impressed we are with Esteval. Can we? Surely, Julia. I mean, what else? Chelsea has had a good start to the season. Can we agree on that?
You know you're setting up yourself, right?
Can we agree that Chelsea has had a good start to the
All
Premier
right.
League?
Your argument is Chelsea have had a good start to the season, right?
I said yes.
All right. So cool. Move on.
Chelsea, I mean, yes, them drop points to that dopey bot side, but we will not focus on that. Every team dropping a pothole now and again. Chelsea is sitting in 7th position, 11 points from 7 games.
1 point ahead of the Dopey Bat team. But yet,
1 point ahead of the
Chelsea
Dopey
have had a great start to the season.
I said a good start, not a great start.
You see, you put yourself in a problem because now Ruben Amorim has also had a great start to the season.
And with one victory, Chelsea could leapfrog into the top 4.
Yes, very
Yes.
much so.
Very
And with
much so.
one victory, Manchester United can be up there as well.
Yeah, but they won't leapfrog in the top 4. Top it.
All right.
you know. No, so Chelsea, I mean, no issue, no drama for Chelsea and this Enzo Maresca team, right? I mean, there's worry about Cole Palmer fitness and his effectiveness. They've gotten Esteval going. You know, maybe I still a little bit of question around that central forward position. Joe Pedro, whether he should be playing in the 10 or whether he should be playing centre forward. Blah, blah,
I
blah.
think Chelsea, as Fabi Frano said, and Palmer should be back. I think Chelsea's problem is, or I think Maresca's problem is, he doesn't know his best 11. I think that's their problem. And this is one of the symptoms of having that inflated squad at the time. And as the squad get more matured and get smaller, your best 11, you have 15 legitimate players fighting for the best 11 spot. And none of them want to be the last 4 or the last 5. So it's a good problem to have, assuming that the coach is savvy enough to navigate the waters. With that being said, Chelsea cannot lose to Nottingham Forest Saturday morning. Because if they do, with the way how they entered into the international break and coming out the international break, and if you get Ange his first win, then we might start seeing the same slip that Maresca had last year, when Maresca came out in that ill-fated press conference and said, we're not really title contenders right now, and the bottom just fell out at Chelsea. So you're right. They are well poised, but Maresca going to have a coach now.
The last games for Chelsea heading into the international break, they defeated Liverpool 2-1. They defeated Benfica 1-0.
Well, the Man U game I think about. And the Man U game I
defeated
think
Benfica 1-0. What? Which one?
And the Man U game I talk about.
Oh. Let's see. All right, so Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest at 7:30 a.m. 10 a.m. slot on Saturday. Brighton, Hove Albion versus Newcastle. Burnley versus Leeds. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. And Man City versus Everton. Well, not and Man City versus Everton. Sunderland rounds out the 10 o'clock hour against Wolves. Junior Crystal Palace. Quite an impressive start to the season. This Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth game should be a very good ball game.
Yeah, because at some point, both teams going to fall out the top 6. Let me just put that out there now. They're not finishing in the top 6. It's just going to be a race to see who go first. And I think this game going to dictate that. Crystal Palace, I don't know how them staying up this high, and that speaks to coaching. In my opinion, a very good coach. And my name, Mark Guehi.
Yeah.
Is that Mark Guehi's story? Because he should have been at Liverpool right now. And the fact that I think he's still the captain, he's the captain, got over that transfer window debacle, got over turning him back on him coach in that last one game before the transfer window deadline. And if they can stay buoyed, the rhetoric will be different, right? But again, I'm going to maintain. I don't think they're going to finish in the top 6. Both of them won't.
Bournemouth in 4th on 14 points, and Crystal Palace in 6th on 12 points. You know, sir, I think you are trying to look clickbait when you bring up Mark Gray and turn back on coach, you know. I think
No,
you're
he
looking
did.
for drama.
He did.
Mark Gray is a Crystal Palace player through and through. That transfer to Liverpool was to help Crystal Palace generate and raise some funds. It didn't work. Now Mark Gray is back, leading his charge, leading his troops to bigger and better things. And you said you don't know how Crystal Palace is where they are. I tell you how they are, where they are. Philippe Mateta was missed a few chances. can be a clinical goal scorer. Ismail Assar has been absolutely outstanding. Ismail Assar has been absolutely outstanding for this football club. Wharton in midfield, Hughes doing the business in midfield. This is a slush, what I'm calling a slush buckle, hard-working football team and a well-coached football team. I think Oliver Glasner deserves a lot of credit, but he does have some players.
I don't know about this have players. Plus, my boy they have Wharton has a groin injury.
Okay.
Remember out for a while, So
Yeah, but that doesn't stop Crystal Palace from plugging the hole and finding solutions.
we'll see. We'll see. We will
You
see.
know,
We will see.
that does not stop Crystal Palace from plugging the hole, from finding solution. Crystal Palace coming into this weekend's action, heading into the international break, suffered a 2-1 defeat to Everton. Prior to that, they defeated Dynamo Kiev 2-0 in the Conference League, and they defeated Liverpool 2-1 in the Premier League.
We will see.
As for Bournemouth, I really like. So this game is really centered around two excellent managers, Ariola and Glasner. Excellent job doing the business for this team. I will say for Bournemouth, Evan Nielsen needs to start score the people and goal. He's a big money transfer, and Semenyo cannot do it alone. Evan Nielsen needs to start scoring the goal. Justin Kluivert has been outstanding. Big up yourself. I expect a very good game in the 10 o'clock hour.
We'll see. But I'm not that. To be honest, I'm not that intrigued by it.
So, all right, which game are you watching in the 10 o'clock hour?
None. Not
Man City versus Everton?
No, I mean the rhetoric coming out now because of what Short Socks man did say, Jack Grealish did say about the freedom he has now at Everton, while at Man City, your coach dictate. He didn't say Man City, but he did talk about.
You had your froze for a bit there.
Sorry, so at Man City, we talk about Jack Grealish. That's the Jack Grealish game. Everton versus Man City. That's a Jack Grealish game. And Jack Grealish came out and talked about, I don't even know when he did this interview, but he talked about the freedom he's getting at Everton, where it's nice that he can just play football instead of just getting the ball and saying, pass there, so, and pass there, so. I mean, brother, even though Fabi said Jack Grealish won't be playing, why, am I hurt? Guess we missed that. Jack Grealish hurt?
I'm about to look it up right now. But continue your reasoning.
No, but I have more reason for talk about. If Jack Grealish not play, why the hell me I watch Man City versus Everton for? A 6-love game that.
A good game, right?
You're mad. If Jack Grealish not playing, is he hurt?
Let's see.
I don't think it's yellow card. He's dealing with a minor injury that are causing him to miss some training session, but his recent he's on loan. Yeah, we know he's on loan, but you think wait. Let me see. Can Jack Grealish play against Man City?
Loan rules. So
Not all.
yeah, that might be something that Man City inserted in that agreement.
Yeah.
So all that fanfare, Junior, all that hype.
Yeah, but let's waste 2 minutes to talk about it. Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care about that game no better.
all that hype. I mean, Man City inserted restriction placed on it. Hey, look, BCN Sports family, please tell us to do our research before we come up on the people, I'm sure.
It don't matter. You ask for a meaningless game. A one football game I play this weekend. One game in England.
On Saturday at 12:30, Fulham versus Arsenal. Yeah, the game the meaningless.
One game I play this Sunday.
Sunday, 9 a.m. Aston Villa versus Spurs. Junior, thoughts on this football game?
Man, I don't talk about a game, no, brother. I waste a game, that man.
And on Sunday, 11:30, Manchester United versus Liverpool.
No, we are talking about ball game.
And the week rounds out with West Ham versus Brentford.
We not talking about a game, no, man.
All right. Farm headed into this game. Wait. Liverpool is in a spot of bother. Manchester United. I don't know what to make. What's the form for Man United heading into this game, Junior?
Win the last game. I will finally get a goalkeeper.
Liverpool suffered defeat in the last 3 games in our competition, 2 in the Premier League, and Manchester United suffered a defeat against Brentford in their penultimate Premier League game, but they defeated Sunderland 2-0 in their last game. This game is a big game. It's a big game for Liverpool, more importantly. It's important that Liverpool gets right and win this football game.
Liverpool should win this game. As a Manchester United fan, I hope Man U keep it close. I hope we'll lose in the 89th minute or something. But this game, to me, has nothing to do with Liverpool per se. I think this game is a Florian Wirtz, if he even gets a game. How will Wirtz start?
I don't know. That's a toss-up.
So and if he
why
starts,
would you start him if he's not playing a ball?
But this is the perfect game to start him in because
Why is this a perfect game?
Casemiro and Bruno.
But it doesn't matter. What?
No, he's going to have the freedom.
I don't think that matters.
He's going to have the freedom.
And here is my reason. If he's not playing well and if he's still adjusting, granted, that's to the point, you might get more freedom, but why reward mediocrity?
No, you're not rewarding mediocrity. You're paying off your $110 million investment.
But you don't need to pay it off immediately. You need to sit down and watch. And
in
what
a
do
big,
you do with
in
the
a
other players
no,
who have been
no,
excellent?
no.
McAllister has been playing well. Slobosly has been playing well. Gravenberch has been playing well. Why not start them in that midfield?
In a game like this is not Sunderland. Granted, Manchester United is on Sunderland level now.
Yeah,
but the
it's
gravity of
actually,
the game.
the escape against Sunderland.
But the gravity of the game, the gravity of this game, this is the reason why you paid $110 million for this baller.
No.
What?
What is this reason? Reason why? What reason?
Your big investments play in the high profile games, not in the most competitive high profile games. This game might be competitive just because of name value. And you know what is going to be sad? We saw Crystal Palace play against Liverpool at the start of the season. We saw Liverpool struggle to get past Crystal Palace, right? This game might end up being in the same kind of ilk. But people go and talk about it like it was a renewal of the rivalry. Is this a symbol that Ruben Amorim is finally taking the right step forward with Manchester United? When the reality is Liverpool might be just going through a period where they're coming down to earth a little bit. And they're going to ramp it back up eventually. But that could be the reasoning around this right now. I think this game is going to be close. I hope it's close. But I think it hinges around Florian Wirtz and also Alexander Isak. I think they need to come through and deliver as the big transfers in this big game.
I think you just try kind of.
No. Nope.
The
Nope.
transfers don't need to deliver. I mean, granted, he will get minutes in this ball game, but the
Fabi said
status.
McAllister hasn't been playing well because of his injury.
Um,
Wirtz just have to start. He just has to play. If he's healthy, he has to play. All right, Fabi. All right. I'm going to say it, Fabi, and I won't be that guy. Fabi said, Jota tragedy has shaken the team really bad.
well, yeah, I would envision that definitely. Um, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I do think that does have an impact on the team. I mean,
Emotionally, it has an impact on the fans.
you missed the player. I mean, you missed the player. Especially,
Benton, I'm sorry.
Junior, you don't know winnings. So stay over here, so make winnings team talk. I.e., but because with a player like Jota, you could rely on a super sub, right? To come on and pull in a game where the chips are down and you can't find a goal.
That I 100% agree, and I 100%
And
agree.
if you can, but a big man them here, and I expect them to pull them socks over and beat Manchester United, not just beat them, rubber stamp them at Anfield.
Let's see.
You've taken the last 2 weeks to kind of get right, sit down, think about what transpired in the last 3 games leading up to the international break if you're Liverpool. And here comes this bug side. The same team that Brentford, with long throw at Brentford, defeated 3-1.
Yeah.
Come on.
Soft swoop. Liverpool.
Come on, beat this team. Curtis Jones in midfield, if you have to. Gravin Birch. Stabasly. Eketeke.
Yes. Mohamed Salah.
I'm not going to call Salah name because Salah going like him. Hey, look, Arnold Slot. Don't be afraid to sub Salah if you need to put on Chiesa.
Fabi says form makes no sense when it comes to rivalry.
Yeah, form doesn't make any sense when it comes to rivalry. So that losing form with Liverpool no matter. That means
Well
it's
said.
butter bros this bug side. This is
Well
not a
said.
rival. This is not a rivalry team. This is a Manchester United team that again suffered 3-1 against Brentford and a long throw in brother. No man, you can't beat. That's the idea of bug side, man.
Yes, sir. So you said them dead Sunday.
Liverpool, watch along Sunday. Liverpool supposed to kick Manchester United and them body. Seriously.
All right. We will see. I'll be here fight. 2.5 hours
I
on the
thought you
show.
didn't want to do a watch along on
We never wanted to watch along, but
yeah, because you want to avoid the early team news from Man United is that there was some eye-catching involvement. What go on? As for your team, Junior, has the transfers kind of clicked for you so far?
yes. Mboma has been a godsend. Cunha, I play some ball. From a Manchester United perspective, to the goalkeeper, Lemens, if he can grow quickly, he can make a difference in this game. So make we see what happens. But it comes down to the midfield. The game, and that's why I maintain this is a game Wirtz could get better in, but we'll see how it ends up. Because Bruno and Casemiro, however, Lisandro, the Butcher, Martinez, more likely will be back. And I pray to God Ruben Amorim have the kahunas to put him in the starting lineup. And remember, Licha did play holding midfield at Ajax couple games, some games. So, make we see.
According to ManUnited.com, is Lisandro Martinez continues to step up his recovery from a knee injury. You know what? Put him in there. Roll him out. Be my guest. Forward him.
Fabi said plot twist, Menu starts. No way. I like Menu, but no way.
As for Liverpool, Alisson thigh injury means he's a major doubt for the game. So Liverpool will have to go more than likely for the backup goalkeeper. Abraham Kanate returned early from France duty. But they did stress that he's okay. Abraham Kanate returned early from France duty, and Endo did not link up with the Japan for the friendlies. Ryan Gravenberch came off in the game for the Netherlands in the win over Finland, but they stressed afterward it was only precaution. So I don't know. I am eager to hear whatever try to read between the lines from both managers on Friday.
We're not going to know till 10:30 Sunday morning, even though Fabi already said Alisson is out. But we're not going to know till 10:30 Sunday morning.
Yeah. Predictions.
As much as my heart want to say, I think Liverpool wins 2-0. Hard fought 2-0 win. Scrappy 2-0 win.
And McAllister did score 2 goals for Argentina against Puerto Rico.
Nobody cares. It's Puerto Rico.
Well, that's good. That means he's scoring goals. In the time, nobody cares.
Okay.
Those of us who are concerned about Liverpool's upliftment cares. Not Manchester United side. Continue, Jude.
There's nothing to continue about. It's only Puerto Rico.
So Milano. As for my prediction, I mean Liverpool wins this football game.
Fabi said 2-1. Fabi said 2-1 difficult game.
3-1 Liverpool win this football game.
No, Fabi. Fabi said it's Peru. I thought Argentina just played Puerto Rico yesterday.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico didn't play against yesterday, right?
It says right here, McAllister scores twice for Argentina against Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's Puerto Rico, not Peru.
Yeah. And Ivory Ahmad did score for Ivory Coast.
A rotted free kick.
It scored for Ivory Coast in the World Cup qualifiers. So
yeah, scored a wicked free kick.
You know, I think I'm gonna pick Manchester United not to salt up Liverpool. One thing is apparent, we cannot live with Julia. Liverpool family, just get right. This is the perfect weekend to get right. Get the ship back.
Benton.
Screw
you.
It's big weekend of Premier League actions coming up. Junior, we're not paying attention to you. Liverpool trailing Arsenal, who plays Fulham this weekend. Is there any sort of pressure or just early warm?
Early warm. We're not even in Christmas yet. We're not even past tag. They haven't even started putting poppy plants on them jersey yet.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, you wanna start winning football games and keep up in the running.
I mean, you definitely cannot win the Premier League now, but you can definitely lose. We can definitely agree that some teams will not win the Premier League this early. But you can't win it now. You just go out there. You can't watch teams around you. Whoever is in front of you, play them and beat them. Simple.
BM says Argentina must be desperate for money. They might play Puerto Rico. 11:30 Sunday or what? 11:15 they're about to go and kick off. Do a watch along. Looking forward to the game. Premier League is back. Club football is back this weekend. Looking forward to this watch along and any other games to we recap the week that was at 5 p.m. on Ball Chat Weekly, family. Any other games I'm missing here for this weekend?
No, man, I eat that, man. I 3 hours down for now. Out of my bed.
Yeah, Junior, you've been giving us the hint all along. You've been telling us to kind of hurry up. Yeah, big up to all the family, and we're going to drop some content tomorrow and throughout the weekend, Friday and so forth.
BM says, let me not make fun of Puerto Rico. Argentina did play Jamaica in preparation for the last World Cup.
Yeah. We got the U20 World Cup final coming up this weekend. We'll do a recap of the U20 on Sunday. Reggae Girls scheduled for the CONCACAF W tournament was released, or the group. So we'll discuss that on Sunday at 5 p.m. Yeah, I hate that in a Junior. I hate that. Big up to all listeners. Remember to subscribe or smash the like button. Tell a friend. Big up BM, big up Fabi. Yo, Liverpool need a victory Sunday. Need a victory. At Anfield too, need a victory. Need a victory. I mean, Manchester United got butter bruised by Brentford with a long throw, brother. Come on.
We will see. Little more the people. Make sure to follow it. Later.
Big up yourself, family.